right, so I actually have some pieces that I brought. It's a mixed media.
Welcome to Talk Show to Go. Our show is brought to you by memestudium.com and other fine sponsors such as
You, the viewer. Visit memestudium.com/premium deluxe to support the show.
Today we're joined by our co-host Glorbasnexk, special guests,
Comic book creator Ryan Tavarez, Lawrence Street Gallery, musical guest Cozy Cole,
and your host,
Glorb, do you get it?
Well, of course, Glorbaschneck gets it.
Then what do you think it's trying to say?
The painting says, "Why are you looking at me?"
All right, well, let's just start like that. All right, today we're at Lawrence Street Art Gallery.
I'm Laura, Whiteside's host. I'm with Lawrence Street Gallery.
And I'm Ryan Tavarez of Tavarez Art and Design.
Do you have a favorite piece? Or a least favorite piece?
I do really enjoy a few of them. Kind of an abstract artist myself.
Okay.
So I love this one by Stephen Tapper.
And where do you guys keep your NFT art pieces?
Glorbaschneck has created a new NFT collective called Swamp NFT.
It's a new technology.
It is best NFT collective, and only smart and cool guy gets the Swamp NFT.
And then you're paying with not money.
Once Glorbaschneck learns to create the Instantgram, he will send the message to all the people in the areas about the Swamp NFT.
It's Tanya Munt, and
The Tanya Munt?
you pour paint.
She got trees when she poured it. See, we got some bowls here. You want to talk some? I like a good bowl, so.
Yes. Pat Simpson is,
What is this house? I like this house.
it's an oil painting.
What's the wildest medium people have used? Like, has anyone ever come in like, hey, I got a painting made of blood? Would you accept a painting made of blood?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Ryan, collab?
I smuggle leaves into the country and
What type of leaves, Laura?
wrap them and put them in a Ziploc bag and stick them in my suitcase and pretend that they're not real. I've been able to smuggle a lot of leaves. Yeah.
What'd you get, Ryan?
Some water and a mint.
Water in a minute.
There's a fun one that comes off the wall.
Oh, I like that. I'm a big fan of Vans, so anything that's off the wall.
Isn't that fun?
What's this big honker of a painting right here?
We have a 6'5" guy.
Oh, yeah? So like about my height?
He's a big guy, so he paints big. And then there's that little yellow dot up there that
What's that mean? What's that stand for?
it's sort of a punctuation mark to me. I'm drawn into the red and then the blue, which goes way back, and then that yellow makes me come back out again.
Ryan, what do you think the yellow stands for?
I think it might just be a light. I see a scene, so I kind of feel like I'm in one room looking into another. With the yellow, kind of seems like a light or something, kind of like in the peripheral.
I see an eyeball. It's someone in the world of paint. There's a being that lives in the paint, and that's the eye, and it's viewing back at you, the paint god.
Speaking of eyeball.
See? It's the same person?
No.
No, that's Dennis. That's our boy Dennis.
We just want people who are making art all the time.
Awesome.
So that, we have fresh stuff.
And while we're at the bathroom, I didn't think I ever was here before, but after I went to the bathroom before we started filming, I realized I was here one time to use the restroom after going to the bookstore down the street. Because there's a photo of a man staring at you when you use the restroom, and I remember that. Is anyone in here? Dennis? Yes, I remember him staring at me.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
I'll never forget those eyes.
Glorbaschneck goes to the bathroom the other way around.
I think someone's at the door, and, well, let's go see who's here. Do you know who it is?
No idea.
Is it just a random patron?
It's a guess.
Oh, I love a random patron. You should buy something. How much money you got today? You should clean up.
Glorbaschneck has never bought in a purchase.
All right, so I actually have some pieces that I brought, hoping to get in the gallery if you guys want to see them. All right, the first piece. It's a mixed media. This could be like for any like kidnapping theme show.
Yes, it could be
Criminal
a kid.
themed. Yeah.
The art of crime.
The art of crime. I'm a big crime committer. Oh, okay. This one's a little ironic. This one probably not going to make it in the episode.
Probably not gonna
It won't
make
make it
it.
in the gallery either.
In the gallery? All right, next up, what do we got?
That might be a little redundant, but
Are you familiar with the Snapchat hot dog?
I am.
You are?
Snapchat.
The hot dog.
No.
He was a phenomenon a few years ago.
I like the smile. That mysterious smile.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Nancy.
We're filming a show as Snapchat Hot Dog as the Mona Lisa. And if you're buying art, buy it all.
He's already bought his shit.
You bought some?
I came to pay.
You want to buy some of mine too? They're real cheap. I'll sell it to you right now.
You
You
can
need
sell
to
for
pay
a
me to
cup
put
of
your art
coffee.
I'm gonna pay you. I'm not paying you.
She's the judge of art.
So next up,
This looks detailed.
this is truly my top 5 most listened to songs of 2021.
I do not know.
You don't know 42 Doug? He's really good.
I don't know Vince Staples.
It's the album Freedom Boys.
Freedom Boys.
It's
Okay.
really good. The last piece. This one's like this is, a little emotional.
I'm sensing a theme here between the ransom note and
This might be he might be the one.
You're kind of a dark person.
Support the show and gain access to additional content on Talk Show To Go Premium Deluxe. Check out full interviews, behind the scenes content, additional memes, and more. Visit memestudium.com/premium deluxe today or tomorrow. Whenever.
Hello there, cool guy. Glorbasnexk is here to tell you about the best new NFT that you need to buy. It is Swamp NFT. Swamp NFT is only for the coolest, toughest, richest, most of the sexy men in the NFT world. To get your claws on the Swamp NFT, make sure you send all of your Swamp coin to Glorbasnexk at glorbasnexk.swamp. Okay, back to the show now.
Artist, writer, illustrator, you do it all, right?
I do it all.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite thing? What's your favorite?
Probably the favorite part in the process is inking. So
Okay.
that's when you use ink, make the lines solid and black, and that's kind of when the whole thing starts looking more real.
So what's your comics origin? Like, how did you get into comic books?
The way that I find comics is through an older cousin. He was like 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
So he was sharing a lot of the books with me when I would go over there. And I couldn't even read yet. Going to like the flea market.
Yeah.
And there was an entire corner of the space. And they just had just aisles of boxes. And you could just get books for a quarter.
Oh, yeah?
Quarter to $1. And we would just go there, get dropped off for a couple of hours, and we'd come back with stacks of books.
Right.
And nothing was ever in order. We never collected runs. It was just like buying stuff that we thought looked
Whatever,
cool.
it was fun.
I would say like now I'm not as big into superheroes.
Yeah,
And
you
what I
mentioned
mean by that is I'm just not as current.
Right.
I still enjoy them, and I'm just really interested in like their history and their various ages that they go through to get to the modern age.
I know you went to art school and dropped out, correct?
Yeah.
It was
Sure.
So was art school beneficial for comics anyway, or was it the opposite? Was it, I had to get out of here so I could do what I wanted to do?
Yeah. So the art school thing is art school at CCS, the College for Creative Studies in Detroit in 2008, and learned a lot of foundational. 2 years in, ran out of funds.
It's a pricey school for sure.
It's a very
I know
pricey
people went
school.
there,
yeah, and so I just chose to drop out. At CCS, they had a library.
Yeah.
And in that library was a lot of graphic novels and a lot of
cool.
comics.
Yeah.
And that was where I started to find other things that were a little bit beyond what I had read prior.
Glorbasnexk thinks you should both draw a comic and switch to have other person write talking part.
I love how fast you're able to. That's what I want to get to eventually someday. Is just to be able to whip something up like that. So I always wanted to learn how to draw. I always struggle with like, in order for me to like do something, it's got to be like a side hustle, which sucks.
That's how we've all kind of been like taught with this stuff, is like you have to be able to make money off of it to pursue it.
What's like being an indie creator versus someone who's maybe working for a company?
Yeah, so this part is kind of a mystery, and that was one of the things that my friends and we spent a lot of years trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So it's like you have this idea, you have this artwork maybe, and like, so how do you make it into like a tangible thing?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of indies who go even more low tech, and they just literally print stuff off of like inkjet printers, and
you
like,
could find those at shops too.
and
People
yeah,
that
they hand staple them. One of the big differences between being like an indie, like self-publishing, is marketing and promotion. You're not just the artist.
You're
in my
the
case,
everything.
In my case, I'm the writer, the artist, the book designer, the marketer, and even the fulfillment. So shipping the book out to people,
Right.
Everything
Right.
from beginning to end. But if you were, for instance, working with like a publisher, there's a variety of levels of publisher as well who do just fulfillment, like they print your books and they put it in stores.
Yeah.
Then you have all the way up to like Marvel, where they have a whole marketing arm and they do events and press and all that stuff. So
Do you want to work with a publisher? Do you have any interest in that, or do you kind of want to always do indie?
that's the funny thing about comics. That's the funny thing about a lot of different fields and creative fields, is that there's no like one direct route.
Yeah.
And so everyone kind of finds their own way in, and they say like once someone finds a way in, they close the door up behind them.
Yeah.
And like nobody else can get in that way. So you hear like these wild stories of people just falling into a position where they can put a book out. As for me, I think that like the best thing that you can do is start out indie and start out small and tell small stories, because I think there's kind of a misconception about the amount of work that goes into making a comic.
Oh, for sure.
And so the best thing that you can do is start small and start to build up the stamina to get to the point where you can tell larger, broader stories.
Right.
Just like first eating small creature and then eating bigger, gianter creature.
As far as working with a publisher, absolutely. I would love to have that little bit of extra reach, but there's a lot of pros to just doing everything yourself.
Yeah,
You're in total
for sure.
control. It's pros and cons, and a really cool kind of growth and rise.
You can come through if you want. How's it going?
Good.
Shooting a little podcast here.
Congratulations.
You here to shop, buy some art?
Just see some of T-Boys.
You should buy some too, though. I'm getting a little commission on everything, so.
Just stand in the gallery.
I should
all
just
the
be your
time.
salesman, yeah. Crowdfunding been blowing up. Like, talk about crowdfunding with indie comics and how it's expanded, its importance.
Yeah. So crowdfunding, in my mind, is a big step forward in terms of like indie and making it easier for independent people to make a product. It's tough to say that a lot of the money is made through crowdfunding, but the crowdfunding allows people like myself to get the funds to print the book. But then after that, I have to sell the book.
You just successfully funded Nomads #5. What was that process like, and what do you hope that the Kickstarter will bring to it?
First off, I'm super thankful to the people who helped make that book happen and bring it to its goal.
And early, was it first 24 hours?
Within 24 hours,
Awesome.
it funded. That being said, it was a small goal, because I just want to fund printing. This isn't it wasn't a campaign that was intended to necessarily pay me monetarily. I literally just wanted the funds so I could put the order in for the book. For Nomads is like my passion project. It's my baby, so I will always do that on my own. I really knew like how much I actually needed to make it happen.
Right.
And like how to keep it simple so that way it could fund in 24 hours. And now everything after that can help make other stuff.
So what is Nomads? You want to talk about that series and what it means to you, what it's about?
It's kind of like Conan the Barbarian meets Mad Max. We see post-apocalyptic stories all the time. And sometimes they go in the way of like Terminator. Sometimes they go in the way of, like I said, Mad Max, where people are like clinging on to technology and this and that. And the idea that I had for it was like, what if we went back to more of like a naturalistic way, and how would civilization carry on in this world? So it started as like a world building experiment. Right now we're on issue 5, and Hawk's story currently is about 9 to 10 issues. This is a whole world that I've kind of written and built, and I would like to take some time and do one-off stories that take place in the world that they live in. I think once Hawk's story wraps up, I'll probably take a break from Nomads. But it'll always be there for me to kind of come back to.
Are you tired of being poor? Then you gotta get Swamp NFT, possibly the best NFT since the beginning of NFT time. Guys, I'm NFT expert Finley McGinnis. I'm an eCoin NFT investment banker, aka almost a billionaire. And trust me, this is not one to miss. So make sure you send every single swamp coin you own over to Glorbanexk at glorbanexk.swamp. Now let's get back to this video.
You want to show it to the camera? So that was your comic made for your engagement, correct?
Yeah, so this is it's our wedding invite. It just like tells the story of our engagement. We thought it'd be fun. We didn't have like a photographer come to our engagement or anything. I decided to turn it into like kind of like a story.
That's so cool.
So we could send it to our family and friends.
Limited print run.
We only printed enough of these to give out to people, and then in the back, like our RSVP is like an old
you
ad
pull it,
section.
you fill it out. Yeah. And is there a different trajectory for people who want to write comics versus illustrating?
Yeah, so one of the things that you're going to encounter if you just want to write comics is that you're going to have to either partner or hire an artist.
Yeah.
But not only that, you're going to have to find someone who can assemble a book for you because the artist doesn't always put the book together. And you're going to be doing a bulk of the marketing and promotion. If you're an illustrator and you are not a writer, you're going to spend a bulk of your time trying to get onto projects with other writers.
And where does I know bigger books will have an editor, and I don't know actually exactly, obviously they edit the book, but what that, is it kind of like a producer? They put pieces together, like an editor at a bigger publisher?
If you're working for a publisher, the editor is kind of the one who determines what gets the green light and what doesn't.
That's okay. That was my understanding before.
But in indie, in terms of if you're a freelancer or if you're an indie comics person and you hire the services of an editor, it's more of a collaborative role.
That makes sense.
Rather than a supervising role. Manga, the editor is almost like a co-writer.
Oh, really?
And it has more of a one-on-one relationship with the writer-artist and will even help suggest for them ways that the story could go.
Oh, cool.
Because a lot of mangaka, they're flying by the seat of their pants. They release 16 pages every week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No hot dog on there.
I
No hot
know.
dog.
Should have drawn
well,
the
there
hot
is
dog.
a pig, but
Yeah.
There's a pig.
The last straw.
Don't be shy.
I'm just studying how you drew it too. It's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm a commissioner on the Pontiac Arts Commission. I've been on a journey of just trying to be more involved with the arts in my local area. I was thinking about was my neighbors and the people that I know and wanting to know more artists in the area because I spent a lot of my time online and interacting with the artists around the country and around the world. But what about the people who are around me? Cool, the trade. This is the whiteout. There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out what you got there.
Love it.
That's my big man. Right? That's the last.
I had to incorporate the title
That's
at
great.
the end.
That was the point.
I love this.
And now it's time for Talk Show to Go's musical guest.